Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back to my channel, The Turquoise Gem. Students, how are you? I hope that all of you are good. Let's start our today's lecture. Students, as I in one of my previous videos, I explained a few concepts that are important to understand before you get to know about ordinal approach, as our today's topic is ordinal approach. So you are supposed to be familiar with all those topics. Let me remind you that were indifference curve, slope of indifference curve, marginal rate of substitution, law of diminishing marginal rate of substitution, and diminishing marginal rate of utility. Diminishing marginal rate of the utility, the law of diminishing marginal utility helps us to understand when does a consumer actually stops purchasing a given good. He will stop purchasing the moment he comes to know that he or she is not able to add any utility to himself or herself. There are some limitations that are attached to the cardinal approach. Most of the time, customers are not in a position to attach a cardinal number to the utility or satisfaction that he or she attain from the goods they consume. So there is another approach to analyze the utility in this way, that is ordinal approach. In ordinal approach, we generally rank the utilities that we get from different combinations of two goods that we consume. So let's say we have two goods, commodity X and commodity Y, and consumer has different combinations of two commodities X and Y in which amount of X and Y differ. Suppose combination, for example, as you can see in the schedule, in first column of the schedule we have different combinations of X and Y. This suppose combination A will have different numbers of good X and good Y, and B will have different number of good X and Y. Suppose a consumer consumes both X and Y, and both X and Y in a combination, and it will be easy for him to tell that whether he got high satisfaction from the combination A or the combination B. So this way of ranking the utility that we obtain from different combinations of goods and services is given the name of ordinal approach. This ordinal approach is also called indifference curve approach or indifference curve analysis or Hicksian analysis because it was given by Hicks. Students, in cardinal approach, utility approach, as all of you know that the Alfred Marshall says that you can assign numbers to the level of satisfaction or utility, but it is very difficult sometimes. It is as utility is a mental phenomena, therefore it becomes very difficult to express the utility in the terms of numbers. So we use another approach, ordinal approach, in which we express the utility in ranks or in orders of preferences. For instance, a consumer can rank various combinations of goods and services in order of his preferences. Like if he is consuming two goods, apples and bananas, then he will be able to tell that whether he prefers apples over bananas or bananas over apples. Now let's try to understand it and go a little deeper, and we draw a schedule. We have 4 columns in this schedule, and in the first column we have different combinations from A to D. In second column we have quantity of X. In third we have quantities of Y. Suppose in a combination A we have 1 unit of good X and 15 units of good Y. In second combination we increase 1 unit of good X from 1 to 2, and the next from 2 to 3. Again in third column we have increased 1 unit of X from 2 to 3 and decreased 2 units of Y from 12 to 10. Similar is the case with the combination D. So it means that we are increasing the consumption of X and decreasing the consumption of Y. So if we have to graphically represent this, we get a curve called indifference curve. As all of you know that indifference curve is a curve that shows that is the locus of different combinations of two commodities that give the consumer an equal level of satisfaction. On x-axis we have taken good X, and on y-axis we have taken good Y. And there is curve which is convex to the origin, and this curve is indifference curve. Now we will move to the last column of the table, marginal rate of substitution column. Let me explain you marginal rate of substitution column in detail. Suppose that in the first combination, consumer consumes 1 unit of commodity X and 15 units of commodity Y. So there is no change. There is no marginal rate of substitution for the first combination, as there is no previous combination for the first combination. So there is dash for the first combination A in the marginal rate of substitution column. Now in fourth column, there are some ratios. Fourth column we have ratios for the further combinations. Let us go to the second combination. We are consuming in second combination we are consuming X and Y together, but when we have to get the additional unit of the apple, we have to sacrifice the units of additional unit of a commodity X, like suppose apple, or we have to sacrifice the 3 units of the commodity Y. Suppose it is suppose commodity Y is banana. And in the third column, when and the ratio for the combination B, marginal rate of substitution, in the marginal rate of substitution column, the ratio for the commodity B for the combination B is 3:1. And again in the third column, when we get an additional unit of apple, we have to sacrifice 3 units of the bananas, because consumers income is limited, and he has to adjust with reducing the units or number of the bananas that he has to sacrifice to get an additional unit of the apple. And again for the commodity C, to get an additional unit of the apple, he has to sacrifice the 2 units of bananas. And for the combination D, to get an additional unit of the commodity X, or suppose apple, he has to sacrifice the 1 unit of the banana. So there is another important observation, that the number of the units of commodity Y that we are foregoing for X are also decreasing. This is called the diminishing law of marginal rate of substitution. Initially, we forego a big number of the Y commodity to get extra unit of X. Then it goes on to decrease. That is the prime reason for the negatively sloped convex curve, and that is called the indifference curve. We call the commodity X apple, and we call commodity X as apple, and we give the name of suppose that the name of the commodity X is apple and the name of commodity Y is banana. And in the first combination, we take 1 apple and 15 bananas. Now, as we are human beings and get bored to the certain combination, so let's change the combination in change the number of the quantities in the combination B, and we get 1 unit of apple for the 12 units of the bananas. Similarly, to get again in the combination C, we again change the ratio of the banana and apple. So we change the we go on to change the combinations because of the human nature. So when I move to the second combination, I increase 1 unit of apple and consume two. But as I have limited income, therefore I have to cut off the number of bananas. So I consume three less in the second combination. Similar is the case with the other combinations. So it means that the ratio, the marginal rate of substitution shows that the number of the bananas which the consumer has to sacrifice is also decreasing. So this is the rate marginal rate of substitution. So consumers, this so students, this was all about the topic. I hope that you have understood it. Fi amanullah, Allah Hafiz.